big names don't guarantee quality. Today, we are ranking 5 American truck brands from the worst to best. To do so, we're relying on 3 measurable pillars: real-world reliability, professional driver reputation, and brand legacy. Ready? Let's start our engines. Number 5, Sterling. Probably don't see a lot of these on the road. Well, that's because Sterling trucks emerged in the late 1990s as a short-lived experiment in heavy-duty trucking. The brand was born in 1997 when Freightliner LLC, a subsidiary of Germany Daimler-Benz AG, purchased Ford Motor Company's heavy truck division. Daimler sought to expand its presence in North America by creating a mid-range marquee that could slot between its high-volume Freightliner products and the more specialized Western Star line. Using Ford's Louisville plant in Kentucky and many of Ford's existing platforms, Daimler revived the defunct Sterling name, originally used by a Canadian truck builder in the early 20th century, and began selling trucks under the new badge in 1998. Sterling's portfolio included vocational and on-highway models such as the A9500 and the L7500. Early sales were modest but steady, and by the early 2000s, the company was producing several thousand units a year for the North American market. However, things soon went downhill. Fleet maintenance managers and owner-operators reported reoccurring electronic control problems, engine overheating, and chronic oil leaks. While some of these problems were not unique to Sterling, the perception of unreliability grew. Then came the financial crisis of 2008. In October of that year, Daimler Trucks North America announced it would wind down the brand as part of a cost-cutting consolidation. New truck orders ceased in January 2009, and assembly at the St. Thomas, Ontario and Portland, Oregon plants was phased out through 2009 and early 2010. This sudden withdrawal left thousands of operators scrambling for parts and service support. Daimler promised to supply components for a period, but the less said about it, the better. Let's move on. Number 4, Freightliner. Founded in Portland, Oregon in 1942 as a division of Consolidated Freightways, Freightliner became part of Daimler-Benz AG in 1981. Now operates as Daimler Truck North America. Its flagship Cascadia, introduced in 2007 and significantly updated in 2017, has consistently ranked among the continent's highest volume Class 8 tractors. Industry data from S&P Global Mobility shows Cascadia leading U.S. production tables for medium and heavy commercial vehicles through the early 2020s. The comparatively low upfront pricing and broad aftermarket support have made them a default purchase for many. That volume, however, also magnifies every weakness. Owner-operators and maintenance specialists frequently cite reoccurring electronic gremlins, especially with the Detroit-branded engines and automated manual transmissions that became common after 2010. Complaints range from sensor failures to after-treatment problems in emission systems. These issues can lead to costly downtime despite warranty coverage. Some veteran drivers are now looking at Cascadia as a disposable truck, contrasting Freightliner's thinner cab insulation and simpler interior finishes with the more premium feel of competitors like Kenworth and Peterbilt. While the fleet managers may prioritize total cost of ownership over driver comfort, individual operators often weigh those differences heavily when choosing equipment they plan to keep for a decade. Global trade tensions have added another wrinkle. Freightliner sources components from the United States, Mexico, and overseas suppliers, so shifting tariffs and supply chain disruptions have affected pricing and parts availability. Daimler is now working on adjustments to North American production to hedge against these risks. Moving on. Number 3, Ford. Wait, should Ford be at the top of the list? Well, it would have been, but a pivotal sale in the late 1990s reshaped its reputation. The 1997 Ford Motor Company sold its entire heavy truck division, including the Louisville, Kentucky assembly plant and the rights to its long-running Louisville line models to Freightliner Corporation. The transaction transferred production assets, tooling, and dealer contracts to Freightliner, effectively ending Ford's presence in the Class 8 segment of the North American market. Freightliner later used those facilities and engineering resources to launch the short-lived Sterling brand, while Ford focused on lighter commercial vehicles. Before that exit, Ford had earned decades of loyalty among truck owners. The L Series, often called the Louisville line after the Kentucky plant, debuted in 1970 and became a common sight on interstate highways and construction sites. Variants such as the L9000, equipped with reliable Cummins or Caterpillar diesel engines, were known for straightforward maintenance and affordable parts. Through the 1980s and early 1990s, Ford also offered the Aeromax, a more aerodynamic Class 8 tractor designed to compete with long-haul specialists. However, by stepping away, Ford redirected capital toward passenger vehicles, light-duty trucks, and emerging technologies. While this move protected Ford from the steep capital demands of developing new heavy-duty platforms and complying with tightening emissions regulations, it left the brand absent from an industry that, by 2020, saw U.S. Class 8 sales surpass 190,000 units annually. Modern advancements such as integrated telematics, automated safety systems, and ultra-efficient powertrains have become standard for rivals like Kenworth and Mack. But Ford has no current product in that space. Even today, surviving L Series and Aeromax rigs remain valued on the used market. Well, this next one is more promising though. Number 2, Kenworth. Kenworth traces its roots to 1923, when brothers George T. and Louis Gerlinger Jr. reorganized their Seattle-based Gersix Motor Company into Kenworth Motor Truck Company, naming it after new investors Edgar K. Worthington and Harry Kent. Now headquartered in Kirkland, Washington, Kenworth operates as a wholly owned subsidiary of PACCAR Inc., a global truck manufacturer based in Bellevue, Washington. PACCAR's backing has ensured consistent research and development funding. What does this mean for Kenworth trucks? Impressive fuel economy, amazing aerodynamics, advanced driver assistance systems. The classic W900, introduced in 1961, remains a favorite among owner-operators for its long-nose styling and robust construction, while the modern T680, launched in 2012 and refreshed in 2021, showcases cutting-edge aerodynamics and the PACCAR MX-13 engine, designed for lower emissions and improved mileage. These trucks are also known for their comfortable interiors, ergonomic seating, noise insulation, driver-centric controls. These details may seem minor, but they reduce fatigue on multi-day hauls and contribute to high satisfaction ratings in industry surveys. With more than 430 dealer locations across the United States and Canada, operators can access parts and maintenance with minimal downtime. Fleet reliability studies regularly place Kenworth near the top for uptime. The company also emphasizes preventative maintenance programs. In 2023, PACCAR reported that Kenworth, alongside its sister brand Peterbilt, captured roughly 30% of the U.S. Class 8 market. But wait, there's one that's even better. Number 1, Mack Trucks. At the top of our list, Mack Trucks traces its origins to 1900, when brothers Jack and Gus Mack established the Mack Brothers Company in Brooklyn, New York, later moving headquarters and production to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Early innovations included the 1905 Manhattan sightseeing bus and the AC model of 1916, which earned the nickname Bulldog from British soldiers in World War I. That Bulldog emblem became an official hood ornament in 1932 and remains the brand's trademark. In 1979, the company became a subsidiary of Renault Véhicule Industriels of France, which increased its stake during the 1980s. In 2001, Volvo Group of Sweden acquired Renault's truck operations, including Mack, integrating the brand into its global network while allowing it to retain U.S. engineering and manufacturing autonomy. Mack's principal assembly plant remains in Macungie, Pennsylvania, whereas the powertrain facility sits in Hagerstown, Maryland. So what does the brand offer? An Anthem highway tractor introduced in 2017 features advanced aerodynamics, the proprietary MP series diesel engines, and automated manual transmissions that improve fuel economy and reduce driver fatigue. Vocational models like the Granite and Pinnacle serve construction, refuse, and heavy haul markets where durability is critical. Volvo's financial and engineering support has enabled continuous upgrades in emission technology and active safety systems. These include collision mitigation and lane departure warnings. The company enjoys a steady market share. Then there's the high resale values and robust service networks. What's not to like? Well, what are your thoughts on the whole thing? Let us know in the comments below. Love trucks and want to learn more? We upload regularly. Subscribe to get on board.